So one of the most asked questions that I get in my DMs on Instagram is, what do I shoot with? I shoot with the Nikon D800. It's a very good camera. It's a full frame camera, 36 megapixels. I use it for my wildlife photography, landscape photography, such as Milky Way, things like that. I do recommend using it. It's a very good camera. It takes a lot to get used to when you start, from the DX cameras, the crop sensors. But overall, it's been a very good camera. It's weather sealed. I enjoy it very much. So the first lens that I'm going to talk about that I use is my Tokina 16 to 28 millimeter. It's a very good camera lens, very wide. I use it for all my landscape photography, for the, when I go out and shoot Milky Way, when I go out, any astrophotography really that I go out there. The 2.8 constant aperture is really good for nighttime, so it's definitely a lens worth looking into. But this is my super wide that I use. And then the next lens that I'm going to talk about is the Nikon 24 to 70 2.8. This is for obviously a little more zoomed in, but it's a very good lens. The 2.8 again, got very good low light. I do recommend using it. It is a little more on the expensive range. It's like $1,600 brand new, but you can find them for about $900, $800, somewhere around that range used on OfferUp. But it's a lens that I definitely think you should look into and don't overlook. Now for my wildlife photography, I have the Nikon 200 to 500 millimeter 5.6. It's a very good lens. I mean, it's very big. It is very heavy. It's over 5 pounds, so you got to keep that in mind when you're out there without a tripod walking around. To me, it's not a problem. I'm used to it, but it's a very good lens. The bokeh on it's extremely sharp, so it's something worth looking into. But as far as my wildlife photography goes, I've never had a lens more pristine than this. So that, like I said, the sharpness is perfect. I would definitely, again, recommend looking into it. But once again, it's not the cheapest lens, but it's a very good super telephoto. And the 5.6 constant all the way through is, to me, in my eyes, a huge plus. Now for all my macro photography, I use my Sigma 105 2.8 macro lens. It's extremely sharp. It's fairly cheap in price and all that for macro lens, and I don't need any other lens for my macros. And of course, a lot of people actually use it for portrait photography too. It's not limited to macro, but it's something that is for macro. So this is just the main gear that I have in my backpack at all times on all my hikes, no matter what I do, whether it be out for landscaping, the Milky Way, wildlife photography. I always have all my lenses with me because you never know when you're going to need it. So basically, this is just in a nutshell what I use for my photography. I would love to hear what you guys use. What do you guys actually use for your photography, and what kind of photography do you actually do? You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Man Behind the Lens. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you.